Why hasn't the government called him in? Nigerian government has called in people for less. It seems like Sheikh Gumi is once again in the spotlight, but this time it is not for his controversial statements about bandits or the military. It's for something more serious. His alleged involvement in the insecurity plaguing our country. A group called the World Institute for Peace is giving the federal government a 7-day ultimatum to arrest and question Gumi about his role in the ongoing security challenges. Now, this is a bold move, and I understand why. What exactly is this group saying Sheikh Gumi is needed for? It's simply due to the fact that, according to them, he's constantly criticizing the Nigerian military and other security forces whenever they take action against bandits and terrorists. And it's true. He's been very vocal about it. He's claimed that the military has been too harsh on the bandits and even suggested that the Air Force is killing the bandits' families. But my question is, how are you an apologist for people terrorizing, killing, abducting your own people? What's the reason? Now, whether you agree with Gumi or not, you cannot deny the fact that his words have consequences. Why do I say his words have consequences? You need to remember who Sheikh Gumi is. Sheikh Gumi is a cleric. He is a religious leader. He is a spiritual leader. He's a community leader. What does this mean? This means that the attitude and the perspective and the words that Sheikh Gumi says carry weight. It might not carry weight to us. It might not carry weight to people who are not under his influence, but it will carry weight within his community. It will carry weight in places where it matters. Places where these bandits are hiding. Places where these bandits have taken cover in specific villages and towns. The community members who should be digging these people out and reporting them to the military that there's a kidnapper bandits in my town, they'll be willing to hide them. Why? Because at the end of the day, the word that Sheikh Gumi are saying continues to show that he is a sympathizer. By undermining the efforts of the security forces, he's also potentially emboldening the criminals and making it harder for the authorities to tackle the security challenges we're facing. You cannot tackle this security challenge without the help of local communities. They will believe that there's even other people backing them. People will now be pleading on their cases. People will be defending them. Sheikh Gumi has said that they should be given amnesty. Amnesty for what? For what? This group that's called for the federal government to arrest and call in Sheikh Gumi for questioning has asked, is Sheikh Gumi above the law? What they're essentially saying is, hey, if someone is stirring up trouble, you need to be held accountable. And honestly, they have got a point. Sheikh Gumi is not above the law, at least according to what I know. Do you guys think the government will heed the ultimatum and take action against Gumi? I don't know. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. It's really something that's worth keeping an eye on. I want to flip the coin. I want to consider the government's position because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like, Sheikh Gumi has been talking a lot about the bandits, defending them, saying let's negotiate, warning Tinubu, don't go this route, don't make the mistakes that Buhari did. Very vocal about it. Okay, a dilemma is here, freedom of speech. Individuals are allowed to express their opinions. Is Sheikh Gumi's opinions not able to show that he knows more about this whole kidnapping situation than average citizen? He can talk to the bandits and the kidnappers on the government's behalf when those students from Kaduna were kidnapped. So there's more to the Mamisa eye. Secondly, do his comments incite and encourage more violence? That's where freedom of speech stops. Freedom of speech that threatens the lives of students, or freedom of speech also can be viewed as an act against the country. In other words, treason is no longer freedom of speech. The government needs to ask him specific questions. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Is this freedom of speech or is he crossing the line? A lot of people online have a lot to say. Very interesting tweet. And this is what she said, that it's possible that this kidnapping situation has become a large-scale multi-billion-dollar industry in the north. And she said some other things. But I do understand that this thing has gone beyond terrorism and everything. It's now a business. It's a business. And a business cannot run and function without infrastructure. In the news before that I shared with you guys, I said, how is it possible that you are able to transport 200 people for 5 hours and nobody can stop you? Make it make sense. Opinions like this, they're likely to be divided. A lot of people might see Gumi as a voice of reason. He's advocating for dialogue and peaceful resolutions. Some other people might see him with suspicion. They're questioning his motives, wondering what is the involvement? Is it more than meets the eye? But my question is, why hasn't the government called him in? Nigerian government has called in people for less. They've called in people for less. And I do think that the government needs to call him in. It looks like Nigerians are asking for the government to go after Sheikh Gumi, while the government has their eyes on Simon Ekpa. You gotta click on the next video to find out what exactly is happening.